Hi, you're watching Artists of the World. I'm Victoria Vox.
And I'm Katie Chambers.
How are you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
So you guys are from Maryland, right?
Well, I'm originally from Green Bay, Wisconsin, but I live and tour out of Baltimore, Maryland.
I live in D.C.
So can you tell me how working as a musician in DC and Maryland, how the scene has changed?
Well, I've only been living out here for 7.5 years, and I've always been a touring musician. So even though I live here, I only play locally a handful of times each year. So maybe Katie could answer that better.
I will say, as a cellist, there is more opportunity for me to play with different groups and different styles. People are very much more open to having a cello on stage with them, in the recording studio with them. So that's a good thing for me.
So how did you all get started in music?
I started writing songs when I was 10 and began on a Casio keyboard, and then later just became a glorified band geek with oboe and trumpet, and then learned the guitar at 17, and then started writing kind of more singer-songwriter type songs, and then started playing the ukulele and bass when I was 24, so it's about 10 years ago. And I went to the Berklee College of Music and have a degree in songwriting and studied singing there. And just got in my car and started driving around the country playing, pretty much. And then in 2009, I put out an ad on Craigslist looking for a cellist to perform with me on stage, and Katie responded to my Craigslist ad, and we've been playing together ever since.
Yeah. For me, I'm a classically trained musician. I have my undergraduate degree in cello performance from University of Maryland, College Park, and my master's degree in cello performance from the San Francisco Conservatory of Music. And then I came back to Maryland and just did a lot of odd gigs around the way and different... What? Odd gigs. Nothing serious, like a wedding here, a wedding there, and... that you just make a living out of it. This is such a weird answer, but yeah, there you go. That's how it happened. And I met Victoria Vox, and Victoria Vox has introduced me to other forms of music, which I'm very grateful for. So, yeah, that's my journey.
And so far, we've been to 19 states together and across the U.S. and in Europe as well on tour.
So can you guys tell me about your music style? It's more like a folk poppy kind of situation, kind of.
Yeah, it depends who is describing it, but it can be anywhere from uke pop to pop rock with folk and jazz influences, and then there's definitely it's pretty eclectic. I sing in English and French, and then bringing the cello aspect in, it can sound, almost be classical at times, but then it can just be melodic and give it bottom end and bass and be rhythmic, and so it's not folk or chamber folk. I wouldn't. I've just been called that too, but it could.
I don't know that.
I just usually say it's like folk pop with jazz influences,
Yeah.
and
Totally.
there's no label for it.
So how do you market that? Like, since it is kind of like eclectic, how do you find the fans, or do you just put it out there? And have you found that people like have been receptive to your kind of music?
It is definitely a challenge to market sometimes, and playing the ukulele. I've been playing ukulele for 10 years now and touring with that. And sometimes the ukulele has been going through a resurgence, but it's also it has a reputation for being light and silly and like comedy based, and so sometimes for me to be performing regular music on a ukulele, and telling people, oh yeah, I play ukulele and sing in French sometimes and have a cellist, and they're thinking like, what? Like, no thanks, and so it's mostly the biggest challenge is just getting people to open up a CD case or come to a show, and I feel that the show we put on, it's just all through, it's very grassroots, word of mouth, and that's a beautiful thing in my book.
So can you tell me the feeling that you get when you guys are performing music? Can you describe it? I know it's going to be hard, but can you try to?
Happy.
Yeah, awesome.
We're happy. It's the music is moving and fun at times, but then also very serious and sad, and I think and Katie does a really great job of playing on all those different styles within, and moods within the music, and it's kind of an emotional roller coaster at times, and we're able to kind of do a little bit of it all, but I think overall the feeling is good, and we're happy to be on stage and happy to have listeners, and people are often inspired and uplifted and go home feeling pretty good about the world. So,
Anything to add?
No, I just love it. And when you don't get an opportunity for me to come into like an A.O.W or some other kind of club and to have a cellist on stage and everyone's like, oh, that's different. We don't see that every day. That's always a cool thing to hear.
So how does a song get written? Like, what exactly is the process for composing a song with the different types of things with the cello and the vocals? And do you first write a song? Do you first come up with the melody with your cello? How does it work?
usually I'll write the song first, and that for me that starts out with some sort of ukulele riff or chord progression, which then I add a melody line, which turns into lyrics, which turns into a song idea, which then later turns into actual song, and then I'll present it to Katie, and then we kind of flesh it out from there and kind of see what it needs and how to make it sound different so that she's not doing the same thing the whole time, and whether she can go between plucking or bowing, and if she can harmonize her cello with my vocal. And so we kind of, we try a bunch of stuff, and a lot of times it's just trial and error, Yeah.
So what advice can you give to young people that want to be musicians or singers?
Oh, man. Really love it. You gotta love it. Love what you're doing. And just, you gotta believe in it first. You really do. You gotta love it, you gotta believe in it, or else no one else is really gonna get behind you. Sorry. But yeah, that would be my first step. There you go.
Yeah, it's kind of along similar lines, but just, do what you love and be true to yourself and not worry about what other bands are doing or other musicians are doing stylistically. If you, just follow your heart musically and believe in yourself, but then also just to just do it. And as an independent artist, it's just that no one's going to work as hard for you as yourself. So you have to get out there and just and do your best. But just do it. That's the biggest thing, because there's so many people that they're like, well, I'm going to, and you can talk about it, but until you just actually get out there and stand in front of a microphone or stand on a street corner and begin to get that feedback and that response from people, and just the more you do it, the better you'll get. And it's nothing happens overnight, and it takes practice.
So in 5 years, where would you like to see yourself, or where do you see yourself?
That's a difficult question. Mostly because the industry, I feel the music industry is constantly changing. It's probably more than ever these days. And so even my goal 10 years ago, I wouldn't even touch that goal with a 10-foot pole. So for my goal for myself is that I continue to create music that I love, and that I'm able to continue a career in that, and just continue growing and evolving, and being able to support myself doing that. So,
You?
Yeah, in 5 years, I'd like to just see what the cello can do. Like, how many weird, crazy groups can I put the cello in? So that would be interesting. And each artist I meet, they're totally different, but they inspire me to do a totally different thing with my instrument that I never knew that I could do. And so just keep becoming a better cellist.
the learning never stops.
Oh, never stops. It's awesome. It's so inspiring and so awesome. So that'll be good. So to be like 10 times better cellist than I am today would be awesome. Yeah.
So something that your fans don't know about you that you would like them to know about you?
I don't know. I'm an open book.
I don't know.
I think I'm pretty open with my fans, as far as just through my mailing list and my website and photos, sharing with Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. So I don't know. There's I don't know. Yeah, I don't think there's much I'm hiding.
Yeah, I'm not hiding anything. Let me say. Oh, there's so much. We could go on. We
can't talk about it.
I don't know. I am ridiculous, and I feel like sometimes I'm a lunatic, so just in a fun way. I have a little dog. Most people don't know about that, because I don't get to talk on stage. I don't ever have a microphone, ever. I just sit there with my cello. I sit there with my cello, and I look very serious, and it's like, that's not... If my friends were to say, like, that's all an act, her on stage like that, she's not that serious. I'm not serious. Even though cello is very serious instrument.
Yeah, I guess that would be the thing that people don't know about us, is that Katie is the wild one between the two of us.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's not bad.
But they know.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Okay, so message to the people watching before we close out.
Thanks for listening.
And see more live music.
Yes.
Go out to your I.O.W.s of the world, and it doesn't matter who's playing. It's going to be awesome. You're going to be inspired.
Okay, guys, thanks so much for hanging out here. Bye.